Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Darkside Jedi and the boys. It's Lords of Longbox Wednesday night.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box. Happy new comic book day to you all. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday wherever you are in the multiverse. I am TiVo. I got my man, Nemesis Prime. Say what's up.
What's going on, everybody? Wearing these funky, fresh Lords of the Long Box hoodies. Excited to have them.
I also got a returning guest and full-time Lords member, pretty much. Our man, Milton the Manimal. Say what's up.
What's going on, everybody? I know it's my first show of the new year, so happy 2020. Good to see you.
That's right. And Ryan's second show of the new year with the Lords of the Long Box red variant hoodie, which only members of Lords of the Long Box will be wearing. If you see a red hoodie, that means
five made, right? Only
five made. That's right.
I haven't tried mine on yet, the red one.
Yeah,
it's nice.
That looks
soft.
handsome.
I like it.
So sorry if you guys
missed.
it. Yeah, go ahead, stand up there. Yeah, see those soft ones. I like that. I got another black one, but they were all shipped from Connecticut, so I gotta wait till tomorrow. Okay, so good night, everybody. We're gonna do this up tomorrow so I can rock it. So hey, shout out to everybody in the live chat. Thank you for being part of the journey. You still got about 30 minutes to go comment on the video I posted last week. It was the Shang-Chi spec list. Go over there, like the video, comment with the hashtag of LOTLB 3000, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. At the end of the show, we're going to do our 3,000 subs giveaway. We got a bunch of cool stuff. I may even do some trivia along the way to just, thank you guys all for joining us, being part of this journey. And first off, the show is sponsored proudly by our boy, KRS Comics. Go to KRScomics.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 10% off any KRS Comics exclusives. The show is also brought to you proudly by the GeekySwagShop.com. Go to the GeekySwagShop.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the Geeky Swag Shop, excluding these handsome sweatshirts we have on because they are no longer available. They were a short-term deal, but if there's enough, you guys hit me up on Instagram or whatever you guys want to, well, we can order another batch. It takes a minimum order of 24, but the t-shirts are still available on the GeekySwagShop.com. You're going to see them all over the con schedule coming up pretty soon. People are going to be rocking them. You're going to go, yo, where'd I get that? And you're going to have to say, yo, you missed out. But the sweatshirts are really nice. I know, how are the zip-ups? Because I personally asked for the soft ones.
Yeah,
the soft
they're
ones.
good. Real nice. They're super soft, man. Super soft.
How does the hoodie feel, Ryan?
It's nice. It's soft.
Can you stand up and show us the Lords of the Long Box underwear you have on?
Yeah, sure. It's on the back, on the booty hole.
It's Lords of the Booty Hole. That's another show for another channel and not copper friendly. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Thank you, Chad Crow. Well, let me thank Chad Crow for the $2 super chat first. Thank you, Chad Crow. Make sure you follow Chad Crow on the Facebooks. He's always doing some mad spec on there. He's a great speculator of comic books. There's a few that we hit that, he hits me up about, and I'd say, I don't know yet. And then boom, he's got it. So also, this show is brought to you by our friends at Rocket Comics. Go to rocketcomics.com, go to Rocket Comics on Instagram, go to Rocket Comics on Twitter. Most of the time on Instagram. And if you say the Lord sent you, you get 20% off your first initial order of pressing, and then 10% off anything afterward. But for your first order, 10, 20, 30 books, you can get 20% off pressing. And then we're going to talk about some things that Rocket Comics actually donated 3 slabs. If you guys saw, we're going to talk about that in a while. But basically, we're going to show you some lists. This is just a freestyle. So we got a list of upcoming convention meetings that Rocket Comics is going to be at. The first one is North Texas Comic-Con, and we're going to show you some signature opportunities that you'll have there. You can submit your books pretty soon. So after the show, if you want your book signed, we're going to give you we're going to go over some names that we think are important names that you can get. North Texas is actually a small show, but it's got a lot of people on there, man.
We're at in Texas. We're in North Texas. Is it Lubbock?
I would tell you right now. North Texas Comic-Con is in North Texas. Actually, it's in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
so,
Texas nowhere is close. That's like 8 hours for me. So
exactly, yeah. So it's in Dallas, and it's in February 15th and 16th of 2020. So there you go. Dallas Comic-Con show. So it looks like there's 2 of them. So there's a big one, and then there's a smaller one. This one is at the Irving Convention Center in Dallas, Texas. So be on the lookout for that. Our man Rocket Comics makes his way all day. All right. So we're like we promised, man. We're going to try to answer as many questions in the live chat. And we're just going to freestyle it. So if you want to make sure your question is answered, leave at least a 99-cent super chat so we can see it. If not, I'll try to answer as they go, because right now there's 61 in you. When it gets to about 100 people in there, it's almost impossible to see everything go by. But Atlas Wolf, with the first question of the night. Can you spec talk Nova tonight so my raffle runs quicker?
Wait, is that Atlas Wolf or is that secretly Nemesis Prime?
That'd be amazing because we just talked about it. Yeah. So far, nothing. We still know that the Nova is coming. So buy it up. Get Marv Wolfman to sign it. Speaking of which, did you guys see Marv Wolfman last night? Later on, we'll talk about Crisis of Infinite Earths last night. So spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen it. It's almost impossible to talk about it without being spoiled. Let me see if I can get an update on Nova.
So while you're looking into that, I know I was asking you guys, everyone kind of on the side here. I was considering trying to go up to Albuquerque to get Wolfman's signature on my Nova 9.8, but I think I got talked out of taking the risk of cracking that 9.8 for the SIG.
Yeah, is it a 9.8?
Yeah, 9.8 white pages, but I mean, it could drop to a 9.6 with the SIG, and I might just kind of break even at this point, but I don't know.
Yeah, my thing is the world of cracking things to get signed really died literally with Stan Lee, right? I mean, unless maybe Todd McFarlane, but Marv Wolfman's signatures aren't really, he's a cool cat and everything, but
he's everywhere too.
I wouldn't tempt the 9.8. You know what I'm saying? Be happy with the 9.8 and just go on. Hey, shout out the Unknown Comics guy. Thank you for the $2 super chat. And he just says New Universe. Is there another question attached to that somewhere?
I think he just means the Crisis on Infinite Earth.
So besides Stan Lee, is there really a signature that will add value to a book?
Rob Liefeld for sure.
Jack Kirby.
Joking about life.
I'm talking about current signatures, current people you
Todd
can get
McFarlane,
signatures
I
from.
think, right. Yeah. Todd McFarlane right now, because of the not the scarcity of him, but the times that he does it. This last one he did, or he's doing right now in January, he hasn't done one in almost 2 years. So Todd McFarlane's signature is worth some money. If you go on eBay and look at Todd McFarlane's signatures, it's worth a pretty penny. And right now, what was it, $90 to get his signature and to get it slabbed? That's not a bad price, to be honest with you.
Jakob said Jim Starlin, but he's at a lot of cons also, man. Like, he's not too tough to get.
Well, no, but I understand that. But my question is, so you have a $300 book, you get a signature for $90. Is that now a $390 book? Or
on a Todd McFarlane, yeah.
Or is it going to increase in value because it's signed?
It's a trick question because it has to be. You can't. In the back of the day, you get Stan Lee to sign anything, it would be worth more. If you get an ASM 300 cracking and signed by Todd McFarlane, but so here's my example. I had a 9.6 ASM 300. I cracked it, pressed it, and got it signed by Todd McFarlane, and it came back a 9.4. It was the same value at that time, though. So I looked up the value, and I said, "Oh, look at that! I signed Todd McFarlane 9.4 is worth as much as a 9.6 unsigned ASM 300."
Well, there you go.
You know, that's funny you say that because Two Brothers Comics just commented. He said, "Never bust a 9.8. Look how Todd has been handling the books when CGC posted."
Oh man!
Yeah. Oh yeah, man! I've been watching the stories.
Yeah, dude. No,
he's like sneezing in the pages.
My inside source, not with scoops or anything, but in the comic book industry, told me that there was about 10,000 books for Todd McFarlane to sign at CGC.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That video?
Yeah,
that's see that video of the boxes?
Yeah. 2 shipping crates.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what?
My hand hurts just thinking about
it. He's been signing them, and they've been sending them out real quick. I'm actually surprised how fast it's been going.
Yeah. Well, Man from Meantime brings up a good one that you have, Ryan. Alex Ross. Remember you got that
actually, it's right
3,000? There you go. That was a $15, $100 book at one point, wasn't it?
200.
So back to Atlas Wolf question about Nova. I just reached out to my sources and asked. Nova is still in development, although much of the focus right now is in the multiverse of madness. And we can talk about that, actually. If you've been living underneath a rock and nobody lives underneath that rock with you, you probably didn't know that the director, Scott Derrickson, quit from Doctor Strange #2 for creative differences. From when I found out about it, I reached out to my man, the Black Knight, and to Mikey Sutton. And from all intents and purposes, Scott Derrickson was not comfortable in doing such a large film. And at this point, all the Marvel films have to push the larger narrative forward. And Scott Derrickson wanted to make this kind of smaller horror film. Well, it's too late. The cat's out of the bag now. When you call it the Multiverse of Madness, I mean, that sounds like a big-ass movie. Derrickson wasn't comfortable with it. He still got executive producer rights. So now they're going to find someone else so they can push the story forward. We talked about the Illuminati was being developed. And no, it wasn't Screen Rant that talked about Illuminati for certain channels and want to put that book on their top 10. We're the ones that bumped up the price. It wasn't somebody else. So if you're going to put our spec book on your list, give us due credit. If not, shut your fucking mouth and keep us out your mouth. But anyway, the Illuminati is going to be planned for the I tell you, I'm going to be in Yorba Linda Comic-Con coming up in 2 weeks. I'm going to see all kinds of Instagrammers there. It's going to be fun. So the Illuminati is being planned. So Scott Derrickson wasn't comfortable with that. So they said, okay, if you don't want, he had something else in mind, but now they wanted to bring in like Professor X. They want to bring in Black Panther. All these characters. And Derrickson, to his credit, was like, no, I don't feel comfortable in making this large film. I'm used to these smaller films like Sinister. Think of Multiverse of Madness like Civil War. Civil War is a Captain America movie, but it felt like an Avengers movie with the amount of people in it, right?
For sure.
I agree, Jacob. I think Guillermo del Toro would kill it as a director, man. He's got the chops. Hellboy, his 2 Hellboy movies are some of my favorite comic book movies.
You know what worries me a little about all the so it's kind of like a catch-22 for me, the Doctor Strange news, because every time you tell us, hey, someone's coming out, it's like awesome, but then I sit back and I think about it, I'm like, damn, you're gonna be introducing the Illuminati, you're gonna be introducing possibly Dr. Voodoo, Clea. I always worry if by introducing too many people, it gets too, like not enough character development.
Well,
so
you have to also think about it.
Yeah.
You got to think about it because Avengers is essentially done, right? I mean, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a huge cast of characters with all those villains attached. You got to now reset your universe. So bringing all these kind of people in, I don't think there would be... Yeah, okay. At the beginning, when Iron Man and all it was first starting, but after Endgame, I don't think you would have an issue with having lots of things happening or lots of people, because
Clea and Brother Voodoo are planned for a Disney Plus show anyway. So but if you think about it now, even so, we say the Illuminati being planned doesn't mean they're going to be throughout the entire film. You know what I mean? They can be introduced at the end when they said, "Hey, we need a defender for this portal of the universe. We're picking you, and you. Maybe an end credit scene, but this is the plan they want to go." But Derrickson is, it was funny if you watched San Diego Comic-Con when Derrickson said, "Hey, you guys ready for a really, really scary movie?" And then Feige comes in and goes, "Well, it's gonna be scary, but it's still not that." You know what I mean? It was funny. Feige almost like, "Wait, hey, pump your brakes. We're still telling a Marvel movie here for a second." So, they still want to do all this horror plan stuff, and then we can also talk about the trailers that dropped recently. What did you guys think of Morbius?
I like
surprisingly,
you know what?
Awesome.
Yeah, it looked really good.
And I've been talking shit on that movie since they announced it.
I guess I didn't
pretty
get
much.
I didn't get the what the hell is that character's name?
Vulture?
No. When he was doing his like portal jumping, there's an X-Men character. I can't think of his name.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with the Nightcrawler jumping.
Yeah. So
I think it was more of like fast speed. I don't really think
is that with it?
Yeah, I mean it's such a quick scene when he is showing off the powers, so it could be him just.
I like the little side view of the full makeup. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jacob asks, "Is Morbius connected to the MCU?" Yes. Stay tuned for a future episode of Lords of Longbox, so we break it down to you. But for all intents and purposes, yes, I will have something that's brewing right now that will tie into the larger narrative of Sony and Disney working out a deal right now.
I mean, the fact that Vulture was in the trailer proves to me that it's connected.
What was interesting is the picture of Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
it was Sam.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it was Tobey Maguire. And what was kind of cool to me was yo, they stole fucking Daredevil's power when he goes, I got this sonar echo thing. And I immediately thought of Ben Affleck's Daredevil, right? Remember Daredevil? The only good thing about Ben Affleck's Daredevil is when he hit the subway thing and the sonar kicked out. Yeah, I was like, man, and Morbius done stole that from him. Because you remember on the Netflix show, they kind of make it more grounded, so we didn't really see it. And that's the one cool thing in Ben Affleck's Daredevil. We got to see the echo sonar. Remember, especially when he was in the subway scene. Remember?
Yeah.
So there's nothing for him to get his sonar off. So he hits his truncheon, I think it's called a truncheon, whatever it is, on the rail, and it sends out this wave. So it's interesting. So Morbius, is not really a vampire per se. He's a living vampire, and all people know that vampires are the undead because Morbius got his powers through experimentation with vampire bats and like electroshock therapy. He's a biochemist, but in the trailer, it also shows he's like a fucking orchestra person, composer. That one.
Okay,
I was looking for the word there.
Fanboy Fight Club.
A maestro.
Impromptu Fanboy Fight Club. Morbius versus Man-Bat.
Morbius. Because Man-Bat's just like a savage monster. He doesn't really think too much. The current Man-Bat is a little bit savvier.
Yeah. Shout out to Everyone Loves a Good Story for the $2 super chat. Please, you can't go to Phase 5 without an Avengers movie. Yeah, you can.
I'm okay with them setting things up, man.
I think Phase 6 you may see a major team up because you think about Phase 1, 2, and 3 and it really culminated in Avengers Endgame, right? But now they have so many characters, they can have multiple team movies, right?
Look, if they do X-Men. Illuminati, bring in the Hickman New Avengers run, and that'll be your new movie.
I hope they really tie in the oh man, I'm having a mind blank right now.
Midnight Suns?
No, well, yeah, for sure. But the Inhumans TV show.
Inhumans
with Black Bolt on the Illuminati. That's
that was what we got from Mikey Sutton was part of our scoop was the Illuminati was going to be formed with Black Panther, Black Bolt, Professor X, Namor, and Doctor Strange. Am I missing one? Everybody but Doctor Strange.
Captain America's in it, right?
Captain America got kicked out of it actually because
he did. You're right. He did get kicked out of it.
Yeah, remember Doctor Strange wiped his memory because he wasn't cool with what they wanted to do. They were like, we need to kill this.
Well, they were going to blow up that whole planet.
Yeah. Well, they wanted to do some dark shit.
Captain America was like, dude, you can't blow up a planet.
And actually, I was really joking about that Inhumans TV show. That shit was garbage.
It was awful. The worst lighting ever for a TV show.
I never watched that.
Good.
Well, you can see it on Disney Plus now.
Oh, okay.
Just binge watch it one day.
They fucking cut Medusa's hair for God's sake. So one of the cool, yeah, it was pretty awful. Speaking of which, we got a Black Widow trailer last night, and we got to see our first action of fucking Taskmaster with the shield. I gotta admit, that looked pretty dope last night. What'd you guys think of the Black? It was during the national championship game, and they showed two snippets actually. One was kind of like more of Scarlett Johansson talking, and the second one we got to see, and then Black Widow says, "Who is this guy?" And then you see start the speculation. Nobody knows who he is, who he's playing, or even the actor that's playing him. But I gotta admit, it looked pretty good. At first I was agnostic to Black Widow. I was like, you know what? I'll see it.
There's been so many rumors on the internet, on the interwebs of that being Clint Barton.
Yeah,
I don't think so, man.
You and I remember Budapest very differently. If you remember that line, that's a big thing. And there's people that are showing that was like the Budapest. What do they call them? The Budapestian. Budapestians.
Here's the thing I pay attention to.
The government building in the background there.
I'm ambidextrous, so I draw on things like this. Hawkeye and the actor are left-handed. In every movie, he draws his bow left-handed. In the trailers and every picture I've seen, Taskmaster is right-handed. So unless when he takes off his mask, you don't see what he's doing. It'd be interesting because the whole idea of Taskmaster is he has photogenic reflexes, meaning whatever he sees, he can mimic. And that's why he's such a difficult person to fight, because if he sees your fighting style, he can mimic your fighting style. And that's why he's so difficult to beat. But
I did read that they were going to include his power set in the movie. So, and also I don't need Clint Barton to be Hawkeye, Ronin, and Taskmaster. Like, let's have some more characters, man. Let's introduce some more people. It'd be fun.
I think that rumor started because the costume is so shitty.
Yeah, the costume is kind of shitty. But
So
Yeah,
they're
maybe
like,
they'll do
maybe
that,
trying to
even
make
after that second
themselves
trailer.
feel better that that's not really Taskmaster or some shit.
yeah,
It's
But
kind of
anyway.
hard to pull off a fucking skull mask.
Apparently,
like he had.
I saw someone on Instagram say that it's because China has banned skulls and skeletons, so you can't have. They don't want China not to watch it or some shit.
they just hate all cool things. They hate nudity, graphic, language, skull masks. God, give us some skull masks and some titties. Chill out, China.
Gotta go watch Category 3 movies, man, from prior to 1997. So back in the Hong Kong movie industry, they used to have something called Category 3 films, and those were like those crazy sex vampire movies. And then once Communist China took over Hong Kong, obviously everything was boom, red tag. It can be violent as fuck. You just can't show titties or anything like that. So it's state-sponsored TV, basically, right? It's communist-run TV, and that's why it's so weird that they have certain things. But you notice, fucking, they're violent as shit. They don't mind violence, but don't show any titties. But if you go
So you're
on,
telling me the worst thing about communism, and I agree, is that they don't like titties. I mean, come on, man.
well, at least the
mean,
movie industry.
That's a failed system right
That is
there.
a failed system.
Yeah. But if you go onto YouTube, search Category 3 Chinese erotica, they are all available on YouTube.
I might stay off
Just
YouTube for a while. I just watched that.
They're
documentary.
considered art, so that's why you see naked titties. So just look for Sex and Zen. Don't go now. After the YouTube video post, go over
Listen,
there.
and you're gonna want to erase your history right after because Tim's taking you into a dark corridor of YouTube.
Happy Coppa Day to everybody.
So speaking of trailers, let's talk about that New Mutants.
That wasn't bad either, man.
I thought that was
I
really
liked it a lot.
awesome.
I'm gonna tell you what really made the New Mutants trailer for me was seeing the Soul Sword and the teleportation portal by Ilyana. I don't give a shit about any of the characters. I just want to see Ilyana Rasputin and
yeah.
that looked pretty badass. Even the first posters of her, remember she had that snarl? I was like, she looks badass, right?
I like that actress a lot. She's from like Glass and Split
yeah.
and all that.
Yep.
I would
That's
love
right,
to
she's in
see her
Glass,
switch over to Doctor Strange, man. There's nothing that would be better than Magic interacting with Doctor Strange in the MCU.
She does in the most recent Doctor Strange run.
Yeah.
She's part of that world. So
He's training her and everything.
there was
She's going to be in that Strange Academy book that's coming out this year.
She's a great lead-over character.
Some tweet or some article somewhere says New Mutants is part of the MCU, and why not? I mean, it's fully owned by Marvel now. It just has the Fox name in front of it. Just like, what's funny about the Morbius trailer is they did everything in their power to make you think it was a Marvel Studios film, right?
Yeah,
it goes
really
from
did.
the studio that brought you
Yep.
Homecoming and Far From Home, and then Venom. You're like,
Gross. When they said Venom, I was like, leave that one out.
yeah, and then it goes Sony in association with Marvel. So make no doubt, this is a Sony financed and creative film. Maybe Feige had some input on it. We don't know until we'll see more about it. But this is not Homecoming and Far From Home, where Kevin Feige has full creative control of it, and it's a Marvel Studios film and name, but all the proceeds go to Sony regardless. So to use that, but the partnership is building. Expect to see more Peter Parker in the MCU. Can't talk about it anymore right now, but that's where it is. What else did I want to talk about? It was that other trailer that I had seen? Oh, the Bloodshot trailer. We had a Bloodshot. Poor Bloodshot was just swept under the rug because there was just so much other stuff out there. But it looked cool because they finally explained more about the nanites. I don't think the first few trailers really explained his nanite power, did it?
Not too well, and they also showed his white skin, which was cool.
Yeah.
Got him like the red eyes, white skin, made him actually look like Bloodshot.
I think they're kind of teasing that, and they're keeping that away from, for the true fans to see at the end. I don't think they want to give that all away, like right up front.
That's true. That'd be good.
Hattie279 asked, did I miss it, or was Fing Fang Foom not on your Shang-Chi list? Fing Fang Foom was on our long-term spec list from a while ago.
Yeah, definitely.
So we didn't talk about it again, but these are characters that they want to use. Fing Fang Foom is coming regardless, because Fing Fang Foom is tied into Mandarin. So anytime we do these long-term spec lists, these are lists that the Kevin Feige says, hey, reserve these characters. I want to use them for this franchise, this movie, or what have you, or TV shows. Now, Feige's pretty much, if he puts it on hold, it could be for anything, because now he's head of Marvel TV, Disney Plus, and everything. So whatever Feige says, encapsulate that man right now so he doesn't catch a cold or a flu or pneumonia or anything, man. I don't know what we will do if once Feige is gone. We need to make sure he takes his annual. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Fing Fan Foom is a great book because he is tied directly to the Mandarin. So as the more we find out more about Shang-Chi, the more we'll bust it out to you. But they're planning a franchise built on him. So I'd be very curious to see how Mulan does in China, because that's going to tell you a lot about. Because when the casting for Shang-Chi came out, Chinese people audiences didn't like it at all, because the actor is actually Chinese Canadian. He's in a Canadian sitcom, and he's actually pretty funny, and he's actually really athletic. I saw some of his sizzle reels. He may not be a lifelong martial artist, but he can do backflips and all kinds of shit. He's pretty dope, and he's funny. Simo Yu, but traditionally he doesn't look like what Chinese cinema is used to, like Donnie Yen or Tony Leung and these characters. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be curious to see how Mulan does, because that's a Disney film based on a Chinese story from like 800-900 years ago. So I think if Mulan does well, then I think Marvel kind of has an idea of how Shang-Chi will do on the Chinese box office. Because right now, China is the second biggest box office in the world after the US. It is important for you to get on as many screens as possible in China.
They're really changing a lot of Mulan, it feels like, man. Like they're making a lot of changes. There's no dragon in it. It looks like the villain got changed.
Yeah, but they're not changing the story.
No.
What you're saying is they're changing from the animated cartoon.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Which is, nobody wants a singing dragon in a live action movie. But there is a
genie.
There's a Chinese movie called Hua Mulan, Huamulan, which is the Chinese version that came out like 10 years ago, and that's a full-on adult movie, and it's badass. It shows her fighting and everything. That's closer to the Mulan story than the because Disney doesn't have many original stories per se, right? They're all taken from like Hans Christian Andersen or something else, and they tweak it to tell their own stories. So it'd be interesting to see how well it does. Hold on.
Check out Jakob's question, Tivo, because you were kind of mentioning it earlier.
I just got I'm going to have a scoop for you guys. Oh, okay. What is Jakob asking here?
He says, what does an association with Marvel mean?
When it's a Marvel movie, it literally has the logo that says Marvel Studios. So you don't see many in association with Marvel anymore, since so in the past, if you see an X-Men movie in association with Marvel, Sony films in association with Marvel, meaning they're not Marvel Studio films, they're not created or produced by them. So the Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming were produced, meaning Sony put up all the money, so all the marketing, everything. Kevin Feige got the producer credits, meaning it was his creative process. He picked the actors, he picked the storytellers, he picked the director and everything. And Sony says, hey, you do all that creative work, we'll pony up all the money for marketing, production, distribution, etc., etc. So now you'll probably see in association with Marvel will be going away altogether eventually. About the only person that's going to use it is Sony when they do these one-off films that's not involved in the MCU proper. The only tie Morbius right now has to the MCU proper is Vulture, who has a tie to Spider-Man. But Spider-Man is also in the Avengers universe, and you won't see Vultures in the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? It's like they have a 1 degree of separation. That 1 degree is Spider-Man. He ties them all together. Mm-hmm. If they cross over, it all depends if Marvel says yay or nay, right? If Kevin Feige, eventually it'll be like, hey, Marvel, can we use this character? And then, 4 months ago, they would have said no. But I think they're trying to patch it up because they see Tom Holland is making money for them. He was just in that Spies with Us with he was in that other animated movie with Chris Pratt, where they're like wizards or something. That's a Disney. That's a Disney movie. So he's part of under the Disney umbrella. And let's be honest, Sony doesn't nearly output as much as Disney proper does, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of backlash with all that Tom Holland Marvel stuff, and I think they really realized, okay, this is not going to go well for us.
That was awful. If you watch Cosmic,
not to interrupt you guys, but I don't think you're answering Jakob's question. So I looked it up on Wikipedia. And so in association with means it's usually used to name to name the production company that actually made the film, or name of investment groups or companies that financed a substantial part of the film. So that's when you'll see in association with.
Yeah, and this in association meaning that if you watch
Marvel
the credits
probably put
of the movie,
money into it.
No, they didn't put money into it. But if I use,
I mean,
if
based
I
on that
say
definition.
yeah, but you're using in association in Wikipedia where it's such a broad expanse, right? So let's say Morbius was not created by Sony Comics, right? Who created Morbius? Marvel Comics did. That's why it's an association with Marvel. It doesn't say in association with Marvel Studios. It just says in association with Marvel. Now, because they have the filmatic rights to use everything else, right? So we know this Venom movie or this Morbius movie is like the Venom movie, where really there wasn't any tie to it to the Marvel universe. It wasn't a Marvel Studios film. If it says Marvel Studios, that means that's Kevin Feige producing the film. Right now, Sony is producing the film. So creatively, financially, it's all that. The director, I had to look up the director. It was somebody I never heard of that's doing the Morbius movie. So, but from what I'm hearing is Sony and Marvel have patched up and they're playing much nicer now. So I think this will eventually tie into the larger tapestry of things. But put it this way, if Sony wants to use any Marvel characters, they need to get permission from Kevin Feige first. They can't just do it. Where Kevin Feige can take Spider-Man right now, the way the contract is made, he could put Spider-Man in whatever he wants to in the MCU. Sony can't say, no, we don't want that. But if Sony wants to put somebody in, Kevin Feige has to give the okay. So they can't just be like, hey, can we put Man-Wolf in there? And he's like, yeah, of course you can, because the Lord spec'd that a while ago. so that's why it's going to be interesting. Hold on a second. Oh, that's interesting. I will have a Spidey scoop for you next Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific in conjunction with Cosmic Wonder and Peace Basement. So this is from my man Mikey Sutton. I don't even know if I can say this yet, but in lieu of saying this, let's talk about something that's really close to it, but you'll kind of give up. Let's talk about Crisis, man. That was fucking awesome.
It was good, man. I was actually I was a little worried about the break. It was really kind of super long, but they came out swinging for the fence in that first episode. So
spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, then you may want to mute and come back in about 10 minutes and we'll do the giveaway. You still got time to go over to the Shang-Chi video, leave a hashtag of LOTLB 3000, subscribe, like the video, and we're going to run. And you have to do that because we're using a website that parses comments and it's going to look for that particular phrase. So we just lost 6 viewers who haven't watched Crisis yet, but it was pretty incredible, man. I sat there and I go, this is DC's Avengers Endgame for the small screen. And I kept on thinking to myself, man, I really wish Greg Berlanti could, head up the DC cinematic extended universe for the big screen, because for what budget he had, he pulled out all the stops, man. It was, he pulled it all out. I mean, well, what do you think, Manimal or Zach? Or excuse me, your name, dude, Justin. Nemesis Prime.
It definitely blew me away. It 100% blew me away. And like Manimal said, like the first 3 parts were quick. They were back to back to back, and then we had this month break. But you know what? It's great that where it was in a break where it's holiday season and you completely forgot about it. I completely forgot that it was going to be on last night until someone said something. So I'm glad they did, because, I watched it and it felt like I just watched the episodes last week. I mean, it literally picks up perfectly where, they're in the vanishing point, and just so much happens. And if you're a DC person, just the Easter eggs. So many little throw-ins there. I mean, I'm so happy. Again, this is spoilers, guys. I'm so happy that it's post-Crisis, that all the universes are connected. All the shows now are connected into one. Yeah. Black Lightning, Supergirl, Batwoman. It's great. So now one of the more fun Black things. Lightning now, because now all these shows can have little crossovers, and it doesn't have to be a big event like Flash can randomly show up, or they can call up someone from another town, another city, and they can help out, or vice versa.
That was one of the more fun things, was all of them running into each other like, hey, what are you doing on my Earth? What are you talking about? This is my Earth. What are you doing on my Earth? But then, so we thought it was a contraction of the New 52 into one world, or after Crisis of Infinite Earths, hey, we need to just make it Earth 1, Earth 2. We now know the CW universe is called Earth Prime, but they did give us a little peek at other Earths that are still out there, which was pretty cool, man. What do you think about that, Zach?
Yeah, so 2 things. The one I wanted to talk about what Justin said. One of the cool things too about them all being on the same world is, or one, like one of the other fun changes is there are a lot of little changes as well. Like you saw how John Diggle has a son and a daughter now. So
isn't it daughter die in the series, right?
no, remember initially he had a daughter, then they changed the history and then it became a son.
Yeah.
And then in the future he was bad or whatever. So they changed a lot of little things that they can play with moving forward on characters, which could be kind of cool. So I liked it. Yeah, the same thing. I thought it was dumb when they had Black Lightning, and they must have realized that was a bad choice, putting it by itself.
Well, what about my man John Jones is zapping people like, now you remember?
Yeah, that was cool.
You're like,
boom,
there you go.
I liked how they cleaned up the DC Universe stuff. It was super confusing in terms of like Doom Patrol showing up in Titans, and then it wasn't in the same world, and now they're in separate worlds. So that's good, man. They cleaned it up, which is always nice. And like we talked, you said off scene.
Pour a little out for my homie Swamp Thing, man. Pour some out for the homie Swamp Thing. Yeah. And the picture and this picture they used, he looked so sad.
It was perfect.
Oh man, I like poor Swampy, man. Gone too soon, man. But hey,
here's a question: when Green Arrow talks, and we see, Earth 2 with Stargirl, which is coming. And we see the DC Universe shows. That shot that they show with the Green Lanterns that's really just
that's from the movies.
Footage.
It looked like the
movie. Is that actually but could that be for HBO Max? We've talked about this.
Yeah, we know that
it is old movie footage without a doubt, but it could be for HBO Max. I mean, we've talked about them bringing a Green Lantern, so
it would make sense. It would save you money, right?
I'm gonna think that way, man. I'm gonna go ahead and think that that's what it is. I mean, because
you think it's Guy Gardner, right? You think it's Guy Gardner?
Well, they're gonna do the Green Lantern stuff. So why not have a little scene like that? Like, cool, an easy tease, and like you said, it looked like that old. It really looks straight off that scene from the Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, it is.
It was. They added a OA in it. You see the Guardians. That was definitely
when he gets
breaking news dropped today from Variety. By the way, Aquaman is getting a animated miniseries for HBO Max. So there you go. So HBO Max is moving forward with a lot of DC stuff. We've been talking about it. Get the GSA stuff. All DC's coming up with big things, man. So watch out, man. We talk
about the biggest thing is Ezra Miller being in there. Yeah, and that's something that I said back in December. I said, I didn't say Flash. I said Harley Quinn as bringing in the movie universe. But hey, it happened.
That was pretty cool. That was awesome. Cool.
Apparently,
the cast didn't know about it either. Melissa Benoist, Supergirl, she tweeted, "How'd you guys keep this from us?" So, like, they didn't know he was going to be in it, so that was pretty cool. Also, shout out to once again Berlanti talking about Marvel again, where they bring up the microverse. The Asian kid says it's like a microverse, and then the Adam says, "Well, yes, but we got to be careful because of copyright." I was like, "Aha, very well done." Of course, they're talking about, and then I'm thinking, I'm like, wait a second, are they talking about Hasbro or Marvel? Who owns the microverse right now? Because if you think about it, Micronauts is on IDW now. Remember, they bought the intellectual property. I mean, there's no
ROM and all that.
Yeah. So that was pretty fun.
So one thing I thought a negative about Crisis was it was so stupid. They kept saying, we're in the fight of our lives, and they're fighting these ghosts that Ryan Choi is straight up punching and disappearing. I'm like, how is this the fight of your life? Like, what's happening?
When I read the Crisis 12-issue miniseries, those ghosts were a lot harder to fight because they're basically shadows or negatives or whatever. But yeah, I was like, yo, you could just straight punch them. But I mean, there were scenes where I was like, man, there are fucking lasers coming out of people's eyes. There's energy bolts coming out. They're fighting a giant-sized anti-monitor. I was like, man, they pushed the limits of this budget. And then I got the fucking Super Friends tease, and I was like, I'm cool. I'm happy.
Where's Adam supposed to show up, the Ryan Choi? Which show? Do we know yet?
I think Legends.
He's going to take the old Adam spot in Legends?
We know Superman and Lois are getting their own show. And on my app, I could see future episodes of Arrow. So, like, and coming up is going to be the introduction of Arrow and the Canaries.
I think there's only 2 more episodes.
Yeah, so it's going to be Arrow and the Canaries is going to have a what they call a
backdoor pilot.
Backdoor pilot, meaning the pilot is in the Arrow show. So
just like they did with Flash and Batwoman and
So it's going to be, and Manimal's favorite skinny girl is going to be kicking everybody's ass now. Little arrow girl. So Ryan, can you bring up the graphic for our sponsor, Rocket Comics? And I promise Rocket Comics, we're going to show a graphic later of some awesome books that we're going to be giving our part of our giveaway. But our friend Rocket Comics, first major show of the year, North Texas Comic-Con. I wanted to show you a list of people and what Rocket offers. $10 a book for pressing, $5 if you want it clean. If you use tell them the Lord sent you or 3 Men in the Basement sent you, get 20% off your entire order, be it 1 book, 10 books, 20 books. Coming up is North Texas Comic-Con, and you see it on the far left there. These are the people that you can get it. So I want to just, if you need help on finding what's in your collection that you can get signed over there by North Texas Comic-Con that we now know is in Dallas, Bob Layton, which is always a great guy. So Bob Layton did Harbinger 1, Rise 0, Exo Manowar 1. These are the more recent iterations. Magnus, the Robot Fighter, Solar, Man of the Mountain, Man of the Atom, and Archer and Armstrong. Randy Eberlin is going to be there. And he did ASM 344 to 358. If you wait, you can get double signatures because Eric Larson is going to be at Cal Comic-Con in January 22nd, which is in 7 days. So that may be a little bit late. Joe Giella, this is really rare because you can actually get some Silver Age books signed. Joe Giella did Batman 181, 189, 90, Flash 105, Flash 123, Showcase Presents 22, and Green Lantern 1. Where the fuck can you get a Green Lantern 1 sign? Miko Siwan, I just dropped off my books today. I've been speccing this book for a long time. Miko Siwan did the variant that's hot right now for New Agents of Atlas #1, the Wave variant. I got 3 copies of that variant getting signed that I just dropped off today for Rocket Comics to pick up. That's Miko Siwan, the Filipino artist. Also, Greg Land is going to be there. That's a major name. Greg Land, of course, I think the biggest variant that he's ever done easily is the Edge of Spider-Verse #2, the first appearance of Spider-Gwen. That variant, right, is still like a $1,500 book, especially signed in a 9/8. He also did Phoenix Endsong. Everybody knows Greg Land, right? He copies the way people pose. I'm just kidding. Also, Sam De La Rosa, who did this Venom, the Lethal Protector 1. So this is the schedule for North Texas Comic-Con, which is in February 15th. So if you want to use Rocket Comics, send your books to him now. Hit him up on Instagram. Tell him the Lords of 3 Men sent you, get 20% off your pressing order. So as we always say, get your books pressed before you submit it, and he can get these signatures for you. C2E2 is coming up next. Emerald City Comic-Con, which your boy is going to be heading out there. I will also be definitely at WonderCon. So these are the next 4 big shows. He's going to have shows after that. Obviously, San Diego Comic-Con and a bunch of others, but these are the first big shows coming up right now. Right there, the pressing deadline for North Texas Comic-Con is January 18th. The North Texas deadline is February 8th. So that means if you need your book pressed before getting assigned over North Texas, you got 3 days to get it to Rocket Comics, who is in Southern California. So there you go. If you just want to get it submitted for a signature series and where he goes out and get it signed, you got till February 8th. C2E2 pressing is January 31st. C2E2 deadline to get the book in his possession is July or January 22nd. Emerald City is February 8th for the pressing. For to get your book submitted is March 7th. WonderCon pressing is March 14th. The deadline is April 4th. I will see you at WonderCon for sure. And now, are we ready for the giveaway? Let me pull up the website. Let me pull up and see how many entries we have.
101.
Ryan, do you have the pictures of the 3 slabs that we're going to be giving away? Yep. Throw those bad boys up.
Batman's up first.
That is, what is the, whose first appearance is that, by the way?
I think it's the first appearance of
Tim Drake, right?
Tim Drake as Robin.
Yeah.
First appearance of Tim Drake in Robin costume. This was signed by George Perez. This is Batman 442 in a beautiful 9/8. What's the next one?
It's a great book.
Next one is a beautiful little X-Men book.
Oh, I know it's my man Wolverine's favorite book. This is the first appearance of Omega Red. He's
massive
coming.
spec book too.
Yo, this one is awesome because this is signed by Chris Claremont, Scott Williams, and Jim Lee. You know how rare it is to get a Jim Lee Sig and how much it costs, man. Also,
sorry, I'm setting up the raffle.
you can do this one. This is Mighty Thor 705. This is the Art Germ variant, and this was This is triple signed as well. This is signed by Art Germ, Jason Aaron, and Russell Dowderman. Damn, triple sign. I mean, it's not 8 times signed like somebody else's we know, but these ain't too shabby either, motherfuckers. Anyway,
Pretty book.
So who donated these? Rocket did?
Yeah, Rocket Comics donated these 3 since he's our sponsor, and so that's
these
why
are great books. Thanks, Rocket, for this, man.
Please go and use their services if you can. And let me pull up that website. Where is it?
Yo, we're gonna throw me in.
We have 101.
Wow. So before we went live and I posted
Hashtags.
these books on Facebook, we had 71 entries. Now we have 101. So what I'm going to do is let's give away 4. I have my 9/8 in comics that I showed earlier. That'll be the 4th place prize. I mean, it's still awesome, but you want to give 4 winners? I'll ship them out to everybody. Shall we do that?
Show it again, Tim. Which one?
It's on our old video. I already have them sitting over here, but I'll show them. Fuck it.
Yeah, man, that Omega Red, he's coming. That's an X-Men villain that has not been used. That's gonna be a hot book.
I would take a 9/8 George Perez versus Tim Drake.
Hell yeah.
Without a doubt.
Full screen me, Ryan.
All right, hang on.
And I'll show the stuff that I have for the giveaway as well. I forgot to throw in that this is from our friends KP Henderson. I also have Batman Damned 1 and 2, which I forgot to show last time. So whoever's getting this is a nice little package of books. Just tell me when you're ready, and I'll show
just
it.
give me like 2 seconds.
So thanks for everybody who participated in the subs. We're already up to 3,050 subs. So when we get to 4,000 subs, we'll do another killer giveaway. Maybe we'll throw in some T-shirts and shit next time. So what would you guys say is the first prize winner? The X-Men one or Batman or I'm going to say I'll say Thor is 3rd place. I'm going to say Batman is 2nd place. I'm going to say X-Men is 1st place as Jim Lee signed it. How's that?
The only thing is, I would say Perez at number 1 because he ain't signing it anymore. That's the only reason why I put that at 1. But then I'm not being biased because I'm a DC guy.
All right, go ahead, Tim.
I bet Omega's probably like a $150 book. That Tim Drake's probably a little higher.
All right, well, DC's number 1. All right, so 4th place is. Let me make sure I can see. How come I can't see myself? All right, this is Return of Wolverine number 2, 9.8. This is a Delato Virgin variant, as well as an X-Men 17. This is another variant. And the winner will also get a Mighty Thor number 15 variant. You also get Dark Horse Comics Presents number 2, Adam Hughes' little thing with Serenity. You get the Prowler number 1 variant. You're going to get Justice League vs. Suicide variant. You're going to get Daredevil number 15 variant. And you're going to get Batman the Damned book 1 and 2 for all your bat dick needs. Because it wouldn't be a Lord show if we didn't talk about cock.
Batwang. Bruce Wang.
We have a tendency to get recockless around here.
Just want to give a shout out to Matt Forge, who gave us a $2 super chat. It says, anyway, they use Frankie Ray as Nova. Sorry, Justin.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, Frankie Ray is going to be used. We already talked about that. So get out those FF books, man.
I was looking for it. I was looking for it this past Sunday. Couldn't find any.
Yep, Frankie Ray is coming, man. We spec'd out a long time ago. They want to use that storyline. So after Silver Surfer's gone, she's going to take over as she's going to be Johnny Storm's girlfriend, and then she's going to eventually become Nova, Herald of Galactus. So that's a very cool storyline. So, all right. So if you pull up that thing and share your screen, Ryan, we can kind of show people what they can expect. You know how to do it, right?
I'm ready.
All right, share your screen. Let's see it.
It's ready.
And all right, and wait till
you're on a delay. Remember that on
all
YouTube.
Right. So this is for 4th place.
Here, you know what? I'll put the live view up in our rendezvous session. Okay.
All right.
That way you can say the name properly and not be delayed. I'm looking out for you, Tim. I'm looking out for you, buddy.
I don't want to get Ottoman syndrome. That's a new thing, by the way. We're going to call it Ottoman syndrome. Shout out to our boy Otto, who's feeling a little bit under the weather, man. I'll be feeling better, brother. All right, let's click start. Let's see who won 4th place.
All right.
Fucking exciting.
This website's great, man. We used it for
it.
our 1000. You guys used it. We used it for the 2000. Some good stuff.
Hella
Comics.
Comics.
I know Hella Comics. I will hit him up on Instagram. Congratulations for winning 4th place and this stack of books. Next up will be the the Thor book. So click it again. I think you have to say pick another winner. So it doesn't
Yeah, I did.
All right, cool.
All right.
Congratulations, Hella Comics.
Congratulations. Here we go for the
Very
third
nice
place
job.
winner. Which book is this?
The Thor
This is
book.
for the Thor books. Triple
Thor.
sign.
Thor.
705, a little art germ variant.
Yeah.
Comic Man Andy.
Hey.
Comic Man Andy, congratulations for 3rd prize. Let me write this down.
Thank you, Comic Man Andy, for joining and watching.
Guys, better make sure you're subbed. If you're not subbed, you get eliminated.
Oh,
I
he
will
put a
check-
little comment. That's cool. It shows the comment. Thanks for the
Yeah.
opportunity, guys. That's
Mhm.
cool.
Ah, there you go. All right. So 2nd place. This is for the X-Men. First appearance Omega Red, triple signed.
All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Boom.
Boop, 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 boop.
Manimal.
Nick
Arcia.
He's in here. Yeah.
You know what? It's funny because when I ran this thing like before like the show started, he came up as one of the winners. And I was like, oh,
He's in
poor
the
guy.
chat right now.
Congratulations, Nick. You got Thor 705 art
X-Men.
germ.
You got
X-Men. He
X-
got the X-Men book. Second
I'm
place
sorry,
winner.
you got I'm sorry, you got the X-Men signed by Jim Lee and a bunch of others. Congratulations. Hit me up on all my social medias and give me your address. All right, grand prize winner,
Uh-oh.
Batman
Oh,
sign.
fuck. I guess you can only use it so many times.
They're going to hit you with an ad for sure.
Thank God it didn't show his little
Boom.
screen.
I know, right? Holy shit. Okay, so are you ready for the first place winner here?
Yes, first place winner,
Drum
Batman signed by George Perez. First appearance of one of the Robins.
Signed by George Perez, who's no longer signing. So this is definitely a good.
And the winner is Jeremy Abbott.
Jeremy Abbott.
Jeremy Abbott.
Congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for participating. I will leave a comment on your on the old video to tell you that you've won if you're not in there right now. Hella Comics, I know from Instagram. I can reach out to him. Thank you for everybody. Also, wanted to say there was a Marv Wolfman cameo last night, and there was also a Perez little Easter egg.
Yep.
When they said Perez Village, because obviously George Perez is his health isn't as where he'd like it to be, so that's probably why he couldn't make an appearance. But that's definitely nod to Marv Wolfman and George Perez from the Crisis of Infinite Earth. So just to tie that all up in a bow, that was done pretty nicely. All right, thank you, everybody. Hope that you're all around for the 4,000 subs, which we will hit. I don't know, it took about a month or so. So it's 3,000 subs over, I don't know, 6 months. So we'll see. It comes and goes, but. Shout out to Zach for joining us. Check out Zach's new background there. I mean, what do you got? Any words for us, Zach? Any last words?
No, just looking forward to 2020. Glad to be back out here, and we'll see what happens, man.
Well, we get a Zach, the Milton the Manimal YouTube show.
Knocking around some ideas. We'll see what's up. I kind of enjoy my free time right now, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, we only take up like an hour of your day. And
I know, it's nice.
Yeah, well, some of us have to do work and get that stuff for you, so we just put it up on a plate for you to just say, here, boom, it's done.
Right.
All right, thanks, man. Nemesis Prime, any last words?
Yeah, sub up to 3 Men in a Basement. Check out a new video that I literally just dropped about 2 hours ago. It was $100 at a local show. A lot of
Mikey
great
Sutton
finds.
Scoop. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the Mikey Sutton scoop. No, it is definitely a long box digging. A lot of spec books in there that we've talked about on this show. So check out that video once this thing is over. That's all I got.
Last words, Darkside Jedi.
When's everybody filing their taxes? I just want to know that because I'm ready for an auction. I got way too many books. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
We can do it next Friday if you want. I need some money for the show.
I got to get rid of some of these.
Hey, leave a comment after the video post if you guys would like to see a Lord's auction next Friday. You guys free on Friday? Let me see. Wait a second. When is my
next live show is
the
23
24th.
Men is is next
No,
Friday.
I would
for us.
say Friday the 24th we can do an auction if that's enough time for people. Does people start
I'm
doing their
down.
taxes yet? Do they have any idea of how?
I got a thing
what-
from TurboTax the other day that said I could do
Yeah, because
my
if you
shit.
start doing your taxes pretty in the next couple of weeks, you'll have an idea how much money
Mm-hmm.
you're getting back and how much you can spend. So maybe we can do it July or January 24th.
Well, the 24th, the Three Men have a live show. We have a big time guest coming on, so
At what time?
9 o'clock.
Man, we'll do it after that, 7 o'clock. It's
10
Friday.
Yeah, you could do it 10 o'clock. Yeah.
How long is your show?
We can run it for an hour. Yeah. I mean,
that's
you
fine.
can do an
Listen,
hour, so-
first of all, people stay up until 3 a.m. with us, so I'm
Oh,
not
I mean,
worried
some
about
of
what
these
time we
auctions run
start.
6-7 hours. So.
Yeah, so if you guys want, leave a after the video post, leave a comment below if you'd like to see a Lord's auction on
You know
January.
we bring it right. We don't bring any
At-
bullshit.
Starting at 10 p.m. Pacific, 7
Mm-hmm.
p.m. Pacific. I got some stuff I'd like to do because I'm going to a show the next day. So, and if we got enough things, then we'll start posting preview videos next week. So tell Otto too if you guys
Yeah.
want.
Who dat?
right
They
after
won't
your
be. They won't be in Who Dat, but you'll know what you're going to be getting back, and you can put that shit on credit.
And then we'll do another.
Hey,
we'll do another
credit.
auction. We'll do another auction at the end of February. So we'll
There
see.
you go.
Leave it- yeah,
I got
I'll
plenty
also-
of books.
Yeah. So either way, man, we can do it January 24th or in February when people actually get their tax returns. Or if you know you have to pay, you might as well spend that money now. So, no, thank you everybody for joining the show. We will be back again next Wednesday. Thursday, I'm going to have a scoop independent of that, but we more like this. If we have snooze, we'll drop it. If not, it's just 4 dudes bullshit and 5 dudes with Otto joins us next time. I think I have a comic call as soon as I finish paying for it. I got some bangers, man. I got a bunch of I completed some of my X-Men 1 through 10 run. I'll put it that way.
Nice.
Silver Age X-Men. So I got 2 out of that top 10 list. And some other Bronze Age goodies, and I just got to pay the rest of